All right. We're live.
We got to get Bigfoot the right to vote.
Iron Palace Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that'll have you flexing in the mirror before our intro music is even over.
Facts.
I flexed in the mirror right before we started this.
Me and Holland flexed at each other and just described it to each other.
Didn't even FaceTime, just talked about it to each other.
Now Jason's here. I wish I had some longer sleeves on.
Is that why you wore pants today?
Yeah.
Holland never wears pants here.
Oh, my God. Thanks for the warning next time.
Yeah, it's exactly what you thought. All right, so we'll jump into today's introduction so we can get rolling. Here sits a true powerhouse in the world of bodybuilding. Not only has he claimed multiple prestigious bodybuilding titles, but they've also become a sought-after coach, guiding countless athletes to victory on the competition stage. With years of experience, a wealth of knowledge, and perfectly choreographed hair, he's transformed aspiring bodybuilders into champions. Welcome, Jason Akers.
Glad to be here.
That was a lot more words than I thought. I wrote it.
I was just proud that you got all those syllables out.
Yeah, that's the most words I've said in a row without messing one up.
Wow,
Good
that's
job.
good.
So
I'm flattered.
That was the epitome of your intros.
Couldn't let me have it.
That's good.
Couldn't just let me have it.
I was trying to be supportive, dog.
No, you weren't. All right, so to jump into today's icebreaker is, would you jump in a frozen lake to save a dog? That's the question you didn't hear.
Yes, moving on.
Is it my dog or a random dog? I mean,
Yes.
okay. On both accounts? I probably, I would. Yeah.
How far out in the lake?
How far out are we going? I'm not a very good swimmer. I'm just going to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's why I'm asking.
I'm like Fat Phelps, dude. I'm in there like a dolphin, son. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely me. I'm dog paddling the whole way. The dog would probably get back quicker than I would get out there.
Let's assume, let's say 20 yards out into a frozen lake.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know.
Not far, it's not close.
Yeah.
can I throw a rope to it?
See, I'm with Holland on this one. I'm more trying to find a way to not jump in there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of see it this way. I'd be going out and getting a, free house therapy bath. So, yeah.
That's
probably,
true.
Yeah.
True. Like, then I start thinking, how long am I going to be in there, though?
Well, okay. So everybody's initial thought is to save the dog.
Absolutely.
We're agreed, right?
Yeah.
What if you get out there and it bites you?
Well,
you gonna
Throw it further into the lake. I mean,
be like, well, fine then.
You're at 20 yards. How about 40?
Yeah. Probably would do the same.
I'd still have to bring it in.
Just put it in a headlock.
No matter the
Come on,
risk.
bro.
If I let a dog die, I couldn't live with myself. I'm just looking like, I got to
Probably
try.
couldn't either.
Yeah.
So I guess we're divided on this. All right,
I don't know.
Alan, you've got to be the my God.
Wow.
So you would swim out into a frozen lake
To drown the dog?
to drown the dog to then bring him.
Oh, if it bit him.
Oh, my God.
If it bit him.
Oh,
He'd come back
we left
wearing
out
it.
that part.
Yeah.
It'd look like Leonidas coming back with the wolf pelt. Alan wearing a Chihuahua hat.
Well, all right. I'm glad we're moving past that one now.
I thought we were just getting into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Just getting good.
we're getting into dangerous waters. But so before we get canceled, before we even had a chance to start,
Yeah.
let's move on. And Holland, you were itching for a question, so I'll let you start.
That wasn't the question I had mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a question about itching. No,
You think this is going to go away?
Jason, would you take a look at this?
CBS said I was beyond repair.
No, it's because you were saying that you were off season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How come you're always shredded? Like, you never seem like on a bulk.
Well, it just right now I weigh 199. I walked off the nationals where I took 6 out of 24. I weighed 183, so I'm up about 17 pounds in 10 weeks, this is the slowest off-season rebound I've ever had. I've put on as much as 30 pounds in 12 hours before. I can get into that, elaborate a little bit more if you all want to know how that works.
Whoa.
I would love to put on.
Those are
30 pounds in 12
Kobayashi
hours.
numbers.
Yeah.
You got to
Joey
take those off
Chestnut
first
stuff.
and then put them back.
Yeah, but so it's.
I don't know if your back can take it.
Shut up.
My philosophy has always been to not get so fat in the off season that you have to diet longer and suffer, do more cardio. Go further into ketosis if that's the way you're going to diet. Which I don't believe in ketosis. I don't believe in low carbs. Never have, never will. Not for my world. So it doesn't work.
I've been staying fat all seasons. That's my secret.
I just like, I'm on a perma bulk.
Yeah. It's
Now,
always bulking season, baby.
Because it's a lot of people that are watching this podcast will probably know and listen that when I first started out I didn't touch a weight till I was 22, and I was almost 300 pounds. I lost 110 pounds in 14 months, and then I officially started my contest prep for my first show, which I do with my little brother, may he rest in peace, in 2004. And I went from 185 to 154.6. I was a lightweight.
Wow.
The last time I was on stage, last year when I won the Knox Classic overall, I was 194. So it's taken me 21 years to put on 40 pounds of stage weight, clean.
Yeah.
Which is, you hear a lot of people say, I put on 10 pounds of muscle in a year. No, you didn't. You put on about a pound of muscle and 9 pounds of water.
Yeah.
So that's, scientifically impossible to put on that much weight in a year, so you can do the research and see. So these people that say that, I kind of just laugh at them.
Yeah.
Enhanced or non-enhanced, not happening in 1 year.
Yeah. People have a really skewed view of like,
Oh yeah.
what all steroids can do.
Oh yeah. They really do. It gets frustrating in the industry sometimes when we hear people, mainstream media, talk about it. I'd look like him if, I was on stuff. No, you wouldn't, because you drink, you eat pizza, you don't get any sleep, you have high stress, you don't have any consistency, and you do chest and arms 4 days a week. No, you wouldn't look like that. It's just, it's not being arrogant, it's just being true.
Oh, yeah.
Following me?
Yeah.
Caleb's like,
Feel attacked over here.
Yeah. It's just, people think they can jump on a cycle and look like Mr. Olympia, and it doesn't work.
yeah. It's the same way with like strongman or powerlifting. They're like, well, I could be that strong if I took. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, try it.
Yeah.
I would never say that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, but I did a couple powerlifting meets. When I was first coming up in bodybuilding, I did both. Just powerlifting wasn't my thing. I had a strong pull and a strong squat, but my bench was awful. I think the biggest bench I ever did, I lifted in the 181 class, so my bench was 328. I think that day officially. I red lighted on 330, so I got 328 up clean, and then but my deadlift was 580 and my squat was 555. So I've always been. It's of course my lower body. I'm lower body dominant, so I can pull a lot off the floor and move the weight, but I can't press. I just don't have very big genetically blessed arms. I don't have wide clavicles. I don't have strong front delt. So it's just been one thing. That's why I was like, I better stick to bodybuilding. I'm not going to be cut out for this powerlifting stuff.
They said Caleb had a narrow back. Was his?
Oh, that was your feedback?
That was his diagnosis.
That was a judge's critique?
No, well, I mean, it was a judge, but not the judge of that competition.
It was actually a doctor when he was born. He smacked his butt and said, "It's a boy with a really narrow back.
Yeah.
He may not ever grow into it."
Don't be friends with these guys.
I mean, hey, here's a guy that can tell you how to widen your back out.
Yeah. I can tell you how to grow hair on it. I'm pretty good at that.
I don't need you to tell me that.
Yeah, but our world's interesting for sure. There are some similarities in your guys' world that are in ours, but it's very interesting world.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about bodybuilding because primarily the diet and cardio terrify me.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for anybody that does it just because I don't have that kind of I ate a cookie right before you got here, and I thought, I better eat this quick.
Yeah, after I leave here, I'm taking my fiance out to eat, and I'm definitely going to have dessert tonight. So, yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel bad now.
But, yeah, I do cardio year round. I do about 25-minute sessions 4 days a week right now on the stairs, primarily Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Just burning more calories in a shorter period of time. But other than that, I ate pretty clean. I think my calories right now are at 38, 39 officially. Protein's like 220, carbs are like 500, fat's like 110, I think, is my macros right now. And they gradually reverse dieting. In bodybuilding after a show, if you're smart, this is where I'll go back to what we were talking about a few minutes ago. You do what's called a reverse dieting. So you gradually increase food every week until you reach a threshold. But a lot of guys just don't do it right, or they're not coached right, or the coaches don't know what they're doing, so they immediately be like, all right, you were on 2,400 in a deficit. Yeah, we were doing an hour and a half of cardio a day. Let's go ahead and put you on 5,000 and pull all your cardio out. What do you think's going to happen? So,
Yeah.
And then
that's the way that I think I would go. I'd be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I'd go. That's how I would start
I'd be like,
powerlifting.
feed me, Seymour.
But it's
My moon pie.
it was rough for me, because I still had that fat boy mentality. I can eat. Don't get me wrong, I can eat. But after I won my first overall in 2008 at the Knox, I won that Mr. Knoxville title that year. That's back when Cumberland was still hopping stud restaurants, and we went to O'Charlie's on the Strip up there. And I weighed in for the Classic that year at 172, and won the middleweights, then beat the other 4 weight divisions. And then we went to O'Charlie's, and I got a burger and fries, no big deal, no cheese, because I don't really eat dairy that much. Then I got a piece of cheesecake, which really wasn't that big. The mistake I made was I drank 6 glasses of regular Coke.
Ooh, wow.
And I'm talking, Charlie's, size glasses. So probably 150 to 170 grams of sugar at one setting. And when you rebound like that after a show, salt's not your enemy. You want to keep it consistent. Sugar is your enemy. Sugar just feeds that salt. You can get edema, your ankles can swell. And then that's, I was young back then, didn't know any better, was coaching myself. So I went from 172 Friday night at weigh-ins. Sunday morning when I woke up, I was 200 even.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and my joints were hurting. I just felt absolutely awful. And since that day, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're not going to do that bench thing again.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't work.
Man.
I just stay on a binge.
Yeah, what do you call a binge that's permanent?
Bulking.
Exactly.
It's called strongman.
Yeah. That's why I do powerlifting and strongman.
Am I allowed to call it that?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
We'll start doing.
You're on a some kind of fitness podcast. I don't know if it's fitness, but so now that Holland's first question is done.
Yeah, sorry.
Beautiful question, Holland.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was
Very good.
A for
It's good
effort.
podcasting.
Haven't seen that in a while.
Well, don't make it a thing.
Oh, okay. So what?
Bad podcasting. Yeah.
I guess we touched on it a little bit. What got you into bodybuilding? Now, how did it start?
Actually on a dare. Very interesting story.
Love it.
I initially lost all my weight in 1999 when I first started weight training. And then I worked out with my now late younger brother, who was a very good competitor too. He got me in the sport. We were at Court Southwest, where the new Nashville Fitness Center Signature Club is, which I actually opened that club and managed it for a while. But we were going into the locker room. It was, I don't know, it was like March of 2004 or April maybe it had been. We saw this poster on the wall that said Greater Knox Classic, second Saturday in August 2008. And my little brother looked at me and he was like, we should do that show. And I'm like, no, dude, I ain't doing that. I ain't not walking on stage in a Speedo. You got me messed up, bro. It ain't happening.
Is my exact
Not
thought.
again.
Yeah.
No.
So
Once when I was young and needed the money, but never again.
he said, I'll tell you what, I'll do it if you're in. It's like, you want to do it together? And I'm like, what the hell? So, I mean, we got some lame diet out of Muscle and Fitness magazine, and, we're chicken and broccoli pretty much for, 16 weeks. And then, he came in that year and he got second in the novice class. And that's back before they divided it by weights. And back when I started competing, if you all know anything about the industry now, you might know some of the divisions they have. We had bodybuilding, fitness, and figure. That was it. There was no men's physique, no classic physique, no bikini, no wellness. There was none of that stuff. So it was completely different back then and small. So our class had 19 in it that year. Dan got second, I got sixth. And then from there, I was just hooked.
Yeah.
So it kind of happened on a dare.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like a lot of great
Oh, yeah.
a lot of great adventures happen on the day.
Many a great thing has started with it. You won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bet you won't.
Speaking of which, Dave, the Knox Classic is in what, 4, 5 weeks?
Yeah, no, the Knox was it's always the second Saturday in August.
So what's the one? Oh, Not a Champion.
Not a Champion is coming up. Yeah.
All right, Dave, I dare you.
Dude, do you think I ain't ready right now?
Jason, how far away is he?
Well, honestly,
Stage ready.
if you all have been to a show before, I don't know if any of y'all have, in the true novice bodybuilding division, we have somebody show up in your shape about like that.
Do they have a hairy division? Because I'm
No.
cleaning.
Never had that happen.
My back looks like Burt Reynolds' chest.
We've, it's every year at every contest in Tennessee and the regional shows I've done at national shows. There's always that one guy or girl. They come out, bless their heart. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I have respect for anybody. Extreme weight loss people are my ultimate respect because that was me. So anybody that gets into this and they set out to do it as a goal, I have a lot of respect for that individual. But then there's just some people that, in layman's terms, they're just delusional. And they don't look anywhere near as good as they think they do. They saw this on TV. I'm going to go do a bodybuilding show this weekend. Yeah, don't be that guy.
Yeah.
It's just not a good look.
Yeah.
Told you, Caleb.
There you, Dave.
I've already got the uniform, dog.
Yeah, I've seen that sometime in like some strongman competitions.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be somebody that's just kind of a big dude.
Yeah.
I guess his mom told him he was really strong or
Yeah.
something. And then they go and
See, to that though, I kind of like those people that show up because then it's like,
you're like, I know I'm not last.
well, that, but also because it's always like the people that watch you lift and they're like, oh, I can lift that easy. Go do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, and
it's a little different than stepping on stage in a Speedo.
Yeah. And there is a novice division, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like if you sign up for opens and you've never picked up an implement and don't.
Yeah.
What keeps me out is I don't have the wiener for a stage Speedo.
Trust me, when we're all in contest shape and depleted, none of us do.
Yeah.
None of us.
Every one of my poses would go.
It's bad. Yeah. But yeah, powerlifting, it's always something like that one week. I did a bench for body weight for bench contest one time at Maxed Out, which I don't know if you all know this, but Maxed Out is now the new home of Armor's second location.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Officially yesterday.
Okay.
Wow.
They signed a lease on the building. Dustin Bass, the GM of the current Armor. Shout out to Justin. He's awesome. They just signed a lease. It's going to have all Arsenal and some different equipment in it, but it's going to be a Series 4 or 5. I can't remember what Andrew's on. Andrew Hall, the owner of Arsenal, I know very well too. But yeah, they're going to open it up January 2025. And I know you all remember the pit down there.
Yeah.
The dungeon room. It's an awesome gym, the great location. So, that we did a body weight for bench meet there one time. This was in, I think, 2007. And you are talking about the guy that shouldn't do a powerlifting meet. We had a guy show up for that. He was the biggest guy there. I think he weighed in at 310. So he had to press 315,
Yeah.
And so I weighed in at 180. So I had to press 180. My friend Caleb Vance, who ended up getting third in that contest, Caleb weighed in at like 178. So we both had to press the same weight. And I got up there and did 180 for 27. Caleb got like 27 or 28. We tied. And then this big guy comes up there, like all just making this big scene, blowing, smelling salts, everything. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? This is just like an organization, like event. Like it's not a sanctioned event. Come on, man. So it's just like
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
And so he got 315 for 11, which that's strong.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. But it's a big boy. That's strong. But then This little bitty Asian CrossFit dude showed up, 5'4". Swear to God, he didn't weigh 150. He pressed his body weight 42 times. Gosh. And I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do against that?
Yeah, what do you do with that? Yeah.
I mean, he clearly sold his soul to the devil. There's no.
Yeah. And it's always those little dudes that show up like to those events like that body weight for stuff. They just absolutely just smash everything. It's never the big guy.
Yeah, that's why I won't do a body weight for bench competition.
I'm not going to do a body weight for anything.
It's just not fair. I won't do it until everyone can do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do one unless you could bring a friend and use their body weight. Yeah. That's what we ought to do. We ought to do an Iron Palace body weight competition, and it's the body weight of the person you bring.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking of who's the smallest people. I know.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, dang it, Alan's got dibs on Alex.
Oh my God. That's great.
I was like, who do I know lighter than that?
So to the extreme training and the highs and lows of dieting, what keeps your, how do you stay mentally in the game for that?
I guess mentally into it is just being consistent. I don't drink that much, don't go out that much. I have a pretty consistent schedule. And I just have my eye on a goal, a long-term goal, and that kind of keeps me motivated. And my goal, of course, is to turn professional, which my little contest history, I didn't really hit on it, but I've done 34 NPC contests, regional, state. I've done 7 national shows. I've been first call-outs 3 times at the national level. So highest I've placed is 6th. That was out of 24. I got 6th out of 19 last year. But I actually went out of the bodybuilding division into classic physique because I got some feedback, and they just pretty much told me at the national level, it was like, Jason, your legs are dominant as hell. I mean, in bodybuilding, you from the waist down, front, back, you're pro level. The problem is your upper body doesn't match. And that's always been, kind of a thorn in my side. So my programming now, I train legs once every 10 days, and I do 5 movements. So absolutely 1 pressing movement. That's it. 4 sets. Everything else is auxiliary work. That's all I do for my legs. That's it. And they look like this year round because it's, it's one of those things in our industry. It's
pants.
It's genetics, and a good set of legs at the local level and regional level in bodybuilding, you can win overalls and win your class, but when you get to the national stage, they all got legs.
Yeah.
So you got to have the whole package. And so I wasn't blessed with very wide clavicles. So for bodybuilding, that's really not a good genetic thing to have. So I can't get wide. I just have to get thick, if that makes any sense. So I can't get as wide as the other guys. But so that's why I went to Classic, because Classic has a height and a weight cutoff. So, my cutoff in my division, well, depending on how they measure my height, I've been measured differently at all that, like 4 shows before. One was 5'9", one was 5'9 3/4, one was 5'10". Like, we all are over the place here. What's going on? Like, I know I haven't shrunk an inch, so, but it's either 194 or 197. So I've got 183 in Pittsburgh, so I've got 14 pounds that I can still gain stage weight and stay in Classic. Yeah. So that's the route we're going to go. That's why I'm not can do anything next year. I'm going to take 25 off, and I turn 50 next year. So I'm going to come back in 26 in the Masters 50 division, and I'll be a lot more competitive in that division. So, yeah.
So a few more questions before we get into, well, I'm considering the nitty gritty, just because I don't have another phrase for it, and I like that one.
I don't know,
I like it.
Is one question I like to ask everybody is, what's your favorite PR? Like, it doesn't have to be like the biggest lift or anything. It's just, what's the one that is your favorite that sticks out all the time?
My favorite PR, probably incline dumbbell presses. I love dumbbell pressing. I don't do a lot of bar pressing at all. Just because in bodybuilding it's more. I'm not against it. It's more, you're prone to get injured. It's because you don't have the stability of allowing yourself to move. You're in a kind of a locked environment. Dumbbells, you can move around a little bit. So, but the most I've ever done on incline dumbbell presses, I think I weighed 210 when I did that last year. I did 140s for 8. So that's the. And I'm not really a strong presser, considering my coach can do 180s for 8. Yeah, he's strong as hell.
I think I can do like 120s for a couple.
Yeah.
I might can get them off the rack.
And it's weird because I can incline press more than I can flat with dumbbells. And most people are the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm stronger on incline than I am on flat bench. It's really weird. I don't know. Might be technique more than anything.
Yeah.
That is kind of wild, though. What do you think? Did you say you're more front delt dominant?
Yeah. Front delt and chest, but upper. In bodybuilding, we focus more on upper chest and hips because not so much flat bench. We don't really care how much weight we can move. Obviously, it's just more of a look. And in your posing, in your side chest shot, your side tricep shot, it's all manipulation. You can make yourself look a lot bigger than you are, but you want to have the fullest upper chest possible. So in your side chest, you can actually see everything in it. So it's a little different than a lot of people think it is. But we do train based on the poses we have to hit. That stuff has to be developed where you can see the detail.
Yeah, that makes sense. I need you to show me how to have a bigger back than I do.
Not lengthwise. He's good there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two more. One is this is the one that we decide if we like you or not. Is who is your favorite pro wrestler, like WWE pro wrestler?
Honestly, everybody will probably, I'll probably get some heat for this, but I'm going to say Rick Steiner.
Really?
Big Papa Pump, yeah.
I'm in.
I just like
Put you in the Steiner recliner, baby.
I've really liked the last couple of guests. It's been ones we haven't heard yet, so this has been all right.
See the
I like
picture of
that.
his son playing college ball?
I did see that. Yeah.
And the reason I like him,
Love Big Papa Pump.
it rolls into my sport. And he started out in bodybuilding, and his character was just so funny. And
Great mathematician.
I always liked
The
him.
chainmail.
Yeah.
Come on, man, he was awesome.
Normally, you got a 50-50 shot to win.
Yeah.
But I'm a genetic freak.
I like him.
Yep. I think that's a solid answer.
Yeah.
All right, then last one is what drives you to keep going?
Honestly, this sport has given me a lot. It's kind of rolled down into a lot of different parts of my life as far as the discipline and stuff, and the drive that I have to do things. And I actually enjoy coaching more than I do competing. I like seeing my athletes do really well, and so I take a lot more pride when I'm at shows coaching athletes. I get more excited in the audience after they do well. But I guess what drives me is like my family doesn't have the best background as far as health. A lot of heart attacks, a lot of cancer, a lot of obesity, morbidly obese. So I made a goal. When I was like 27, it's like, what, I'm gonna make this goal with myself. That's when I started being competing for a few years. I wanted to be in better shape at 50 than I was at 20. So, and I probably will be. So, and that kind of what. Having a long-term goal, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what keeps me driven.
That's awesome. Okay, that's pretty motivational just to be able to set a goal that far back and then keep going with it.
Yeah.
Because my goals are usually pretty short term.
I'm pretty sure I've had some Monday that I've already forgot.
Yeah.
But
For those listening, we recorded on Tuesday this week.
I was like, what?
Caleb wasn't listening.
Man, I've been confused all day what day it is. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, someone said something this morning at work that happened earlier this week, and I looked at someone else and said, that was this week? I swore that was a month ago.
Yeah, that's funny.
But all right, so to the nitty gritty or the nitty gritty,
Yeah.
as they say across the pond. Shout out to my boy Kevin. He knows what I'm talking about.
Kevin's flipping you off right now.
I know he is.
Limey.
All right, so fake natties. What do you think?
That's a very sore topic with me, and I'm going to just set it out there, listeners. Some of them know me know how I talk about this. I'm not very vocal, but on this podcast, I promised everybody I would be raw and unedited. They just really annoy me, and there's a lot in my industry, and I've always had this running joke with fellow competitors. Anybody that gets into this, the words natural and bodybuilding should not ever be in the same sentence. And I'm going to tell you that, I'll probably catch some heat for this. Oh, well, I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but if you compete at a state, regional, national level in the NPC, even the female divisions, none of them are natural. And I will tell them right to their face. None of them, including the bikini girls. They all use stuff to lean out. Mm-hmm. Not androgen, not androgenic stuff. It's nothing like that, but they use thyroid drugs. They use stuff like clenbuterol, T3, T4. They use stuff too. And it's just that term really annoys me because I know that's not reality. Mm-hmm. So I usually call people out on that. But the naturals that really annoy me are the ones that I willingly know they're using stuff, and they still just get on social media every day. I'm natural. Mike O'Haron. No, I didn't call him out. It's like,
he said he's natural.
Yeah. It's like, come on, bro. We know better.
Yeah.
We know better.
Yeah. People that don't even know anything about fitness know better.
the people I have more respect for are the people that will openly talk about it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'll share when I did my first cycle, and I don't even care. You know, I talk about it because it's, you know, people look at me, oh, Akers is juiced out of his mind. Actually, no. If you knew what I did take, which I'll disclose right now on the podcast in my off season, it'd probably blow your mind.
See, I've heard that a few times where like the bigger people talk about what they're on, and it's always more surprising, especially then when you find out like the guys that don't know what they're doing that are just blasting stuff.
Yeah.
But the guys that actually that know what they're doing and will disclose what they're on, it's always not as much as you think.
Yeah, and it's just if I'll roll into that if the podcast is okay with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
So right now after the show, I started my health phase. I'm on 150 milligrams of SIP once a week. I'm on 2 IU of GH, Simitropin, and then that's it. That's all I'm using, and that's all I've been on for 10 weeks, and I put on 17 pounds, and my strength's increasing because it's the food and the periodization and the training that does it. It's not the drugs. Mm-hmm. You can have test levels over 1,000 on TRT, which is what I'm on right now. Mm-hmm. You can. It's perfectly. You should, honestly, if you're eating properly and not drinking, getting enough sleep, because all that plays a role in your hormones. That's why, you know, I made a post one day. Holland probably saw this post where I put two guys on the post, and I put, this guy eats pizza 2 days a week, eats out, he drinks, he gets 4 hours of sleep, he goes out every weekend and parties with his friends, and then he gets on 500 milligrams of test. Guy over here on the right takes 500 milligrams of test, and he eats perfect. He doesn't go out. He doesn't drink. Gets 8 hours of sleep. Has no stress. Who do you think is going to make more gains? The guy on the left that's eating pizza. Now, if he's a genetic freak, which they're out there, obviously, in my world and your all's world, they can just do whatever they want, and they just seem to get stronger. Why are you calling him out like that? Straight?
We're all thinking it.
Yeah. And
What is?
But yeah, that's definitely definitely something that I get annoyed by, our fake naturals. It's very bad in our industry, very bad. Yeah, so that's
you know, and I think that like it undercuts the work that you got to put in. You know, because people are like, well, they're taking steroids.
Yeah.
Well, that's not. That's it's like supplements. You know, if you're not putting in the work, so you know, who cares? You don't. I mean, like. The work has to be there. The diet has to be there. The all that has to be there before anything else.
And I tell people that all the time. It's 80% what you do outside of the gym, 20% what you do inside the gym, and it's somewhere in that formula, but it's pretty close. So you can take all the stuff in the world, and then if everything else is not there, the diet and the training is not there, you're never going to get anywhere. You can take all the gear you want. I don't care who you are. Not going to happen. So there's guys in my gym, you know, here locally that I know are on a crap ton more stuff than I've ever used in my entire life, even for a national show, and they look like absolute trash. Yeah, because it all comes down to what they do outside of the gym. Mm-hmm. They don't have the discipline, they don't have the control, they don't have the coaching, because sometimes it's just they're doing everything on their own. Their egos are so big, and you know this sport is all about egos. And you just get real. So they just think they know more than the other person, and that's another thing that really annoys me.
Yeah, I know. Whenever I talk to a lot of people that are getting in, and undoubtedly, you know, the random people like at work that'll say, "Hey, you work out a lot. What supplement should I buy?" Mm-hmm. My first answer is the only supplement I'll recommend when you first start is pre-workout, just because we work early hours in the morning till later in the afternoon, so you're probably tired. So pre-workout will help you get there. Yep. But other than that, just work on food.
Yeah. That's really what it is.
I had to talk with somebody at work the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know why they asked me, but they were like, I'm getting into it. I was like, pre-workout, and if you want some nice selfies, I mean, creatine don't hurt. But like, I wouldn't, don't go crazy. Just get in the gym, dog. Watch what you eat.
Everyone thinks like you got to get all the protein powder, the BCAAs, like all the stuff from like, I mean, that stuff is just in case you can't get what you need in food. It's not for, okay, I need to take all my protein in one protein shake this morning. That's
horrible diets are undefeated.
And hitting the protein, too, that old layman's term, a pound and a half or, a gram of protein for a pound of body weight. No, that's not accurate. That's scientifically been proven to be not accurate either. I've got a client right now that's doing a natural show in Kentucky next weekend. She's doing wellness in the NGA, and she started with me at 151. She's 130, I think, today. I actually posted her before and after pictures. Her name's Jordan, and everybody swears up and down at the gym she trains at that she's on all this stuff. It's a tested federation. She has to get tested.
See, I want to be accused of being on steroids because I think that would just make me feel good because I'm not on anything. So I would love for that to happen.
It is.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it is very, very, very.
Okay, I want to be accused by people that know things. Yeah. Like the random guy that doesn't know stuff, I don't feel like that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But
You think that till you walk through the locker room naked and somebody goes, "Those are tiny. You on juice?"
Yeah.
It's all about context.
That's great.
I had another question and Dave made me
But
forget.
you're going to say, you're talking about protein. What's her protein intake like?
She's about 0.65, I think. If memory serves, I don't have her file in front of me. Well, it's on my phone, but I think she's at 0.65 for her body weight. So she's about 90 grams a day, 100.
So is that what you recommend is around the 0.65? I usually run on about 0.75 is usually what I aim for.
0.75 for a male to up to 1 gram, but and then too, a lot of people don't understand this. It's this is why it drives me nuts that when people say per pound of body weight. No, it's per pound of lean skeletal muscle mass. If you don't know what that is, then you're just guessing. So you need to go get a body scan and find out where your lean skeletal muscle mass is at. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you might weigh 200 pounds, but you're 20% body fat, so your lean muscle mass is around 168. Well, if my math's correct. So why are you eating that much protein? You don't need it.
That does make sense.
Yeah, it's all based on skeletal muscle mass, not body weight. That's another thing that really annoys me in the industry.
I had a body scan and it said error 404, lean muscle mass not found.
It's all fat and body hair.
Yeah, baby.
I know one thing.
And tenacity.
One thing that I've learned recently is we've got I got two guys that I work with that it's Sam Graves and Michael Reagan.
Oh yeah, know Sam very well.
So they're both getting ready for Night of Champions.
Yep.
And talking to Michael, I've learned. So I compete in powerlifting, strongman, and Highland Games.
Yeah.
And the most I complain about with powerlifting is how much it costs to compete. And what I've learned after talking to Michael is I'm not going to complain anymore because bodybuilding is expensive.
Yep.
Like he'll tell me all the time how much he's spending on the tan, the trunks, each class he's competing in, like all the way down to like the hotel that he's got to stay in to be there. I was like, no.
I tell every client when I first come on board in my questionnaire, it's about 20 questions, and the two biggest questions I ask them, are you financially able to have aside $3,000?
I think it's a good question to ask if you're getting into it.
$3,000.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a female, when the suits cost between $400 and $1,000. And then your shoes are about $100. Now you can buy used stuff. A lot of my girls do, but you can do that. But then, like, I'll give you an example. The Nationals last year, I went to Pittsburgh and did Masters Nationals, and I crossed over and did bodybuilding and classic. Mm-hmm. I had 4 entry fees, at $300 a piece. It's $1,200. The hotel was $800. My trunks were, I think, $60. My tan was $150. Gas to get up there about $100. So, I had $2,500 invested in that one show. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Sam and Michael, I'm actually getting ready to start helping Michael with his posing.
Yeah, he was telling me about it today, actually.
I've been helping him some. I guess he's not satisfied with the results.
Yeah. Michael's good. Michael and Sam are good dudes, man.
Yeah.
Sam's gonna do really well now the champions. I'm excited to see him.
I'm too. Like
He's looking good, dude.
I've watched.
He's looking peeled.
Like,
It's the best he's ever looked, for sure.
I researched bodybuilding enough just to have some idea. So that if we talk to people like you, I'm not completely in the dark. But like Sam is probably the first time I'm actually excited to see someone in bodybuilding. I mean, he's looking phenomenal.
Plus, he's just an awesome dude.
Oh yeah, he's cool. He's a cool guy, man. He's always done well when he first got in it, and I saw him putting up on a story, about 3 weeks ago. And I was like, man, you're not really reverse dieting. He's like, nah. I was like, you're doing Night of Champions, aren't you? He's like, yeah. I was like, he's wanting to get a win, and I think he will. I'm not sure if he's crossing over, but he probably will do both. So,
yeah, I'm excited for Sam. He's going to do good.
Mm-hmm.
Michael will too. We'll see. I'm excited to see what Michael does too. Because again, this is the first time I've seen someone go from off season to peaking at a show, and it's been pretty interesting to watch. I've never watched someone or been as close to someone to watch the full effect of it. Like I've seen someone at a show or an off season, but never the full cycle. It's been interesting to watch.
Bodybuilding is an illusion. It's a 100% illusion. We're at our lowest body weight of the year, but we look the biggest because our body fat is so low.
Yep.
People see pictures of me on social media, where I'm peeled at 190, and full of carbs. So I look like a walking vein from head to toe. But it's a look. Like you've seen me in person. I mean, I'm not a big guy. I compete under 200 pounds. I'm not a big dude, but I get conditioned as hell. And in our industry, at the national level, conditioning is really what trumps size. Now, if you've got good structure, like if you've got perfect muscle bellies and you just have a, quote, pretty physique, you can place pretty good. But if you're not peeled, no, you're not going to win.
Yep.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, because that's what, whenever me and Alan went to the Arnold Classic a few years ago, that was what I was impressed with. Was like, I see a lot of these people, like you said, on social media, and they look huge.
Yeah.
And then I get there and I meet Kai Green, who's,
yeah, he's 5'7".
Yeah, he's a little bitty dude.
And here's another interesting.
I didn't realize he was that short.
No, I got one for you. The guy that's won the Olympia in the it used to be 202, now it's 212, the short division. Well, we call it the short division. Short division. It's the weight division now, but
short division. I like that better.
Sean Clarita.
Yeah,
won the Olympia at 178 pounds.
Insane.
Dang. When you see pictures of him by himself, oh my God, that guy's 250. No, he's 5'2".
The pictures of Eddie Hall on the stage with the bodybuilders.
That's Brian Shaw.
Yeah, Brian Shaw.
That's reality too.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. They were talking about like a bodybuilder. I was like, yeah, they're jacked, but you wouldn't realize how small a lot of these guys are until you see them next to somebody and you see pictures like that. And you're like, oh yeah, they're.
And it helps that Brian Shaw is a giant.
Oh yeah, he's 6'9".
You get that with UFC fighters a lot too. Like you'll see UFC fighter looking really peeled and stuff, and then you'll see him next to somebody who's like 6'1". It's like, oh, that guy's not actually that big.
Yeah, like even Chris Bumstead.
Yeah,
like the genetic freak.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, and we walked right by him. I was like, I didn't even know it was him at first.
And our sport is we have a running joke. It's a short man sport. If you're over about 5'10", with the exception of people like Bumstead and Dennis Wolf, people that were back in the day. Dennis was legit 6 foot and he was a monster. But if you're over about 5'10", you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah. It's like, how did Lou Ferrigno ever? Because that guy.
Well, he competed at 300 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's 6'4", and it's like my buddy Spencer Whittington, he just moved back home to Michigan, him and his wife and their kids. He's got 3 kids now, actually. He won the Tennessee State in 22. Spencer won it, I think he said he weighed 261, but Spencer is 6'3".
Yeah.
So it's a lot different when you have that much height. It's hard to make it look really big. So
that's my problem.
Yeah.
Well, we were joking around the other day talking about bodybuilding and stuff. So we were looking up what we needed to weigh. I think we looked at Classic first.
Yeah.
And I think I'm 6'6", so at my height I needed to be 200. I was like, no way, you could no. Yeah. Like just for that alone, won't do it. I'm at 270 right now, and I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
No way. Will I go to 200?
I'm just 6'1", and I'm at 200.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, this is no. And then talking to Michael this week too, we looked up if I did open or just open bodybuilding, I think it was 238 or something. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Bodybuilding, you'd have to be you have to be probably a heavy, depending on how much you got off of you. But heavyweight's over 225. Super heavy is over 225.
No. Yeah. So. See, that's why I was like, even in strongman, I fall in that weird category where I'm only in the head, like the super heavyweight,
Yeah.
because I'm tall.
Because you're tall.
Yeah. So like the guys that I compete with are like Holland that are in that weight class because they're strong. Yeah. And I'm up here like I just can't not be here.
Yeah, my favorite strongman.
I'm there because I'm fat.
Yeah. My favorite strongman is probably Mariusz Pudzianowski.
I agree.
Absolutely. Dude was he was so far ahead of his time. He's an
genetic
freak, man.
And he looked like
a bodybuilder.
Yeah, I was going to say he looked like he could almost step on stage.
Yeah.
But just strong as hell. I'm like,
yeah, I think he's like 260, 270. I think is what he weighed at strongman.
I think so.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, we talked about him once, and now I'm blanking on how much he weighed, but I think it was around there.
Yeah,
it's insane. Yeah, and he always made it look easy. I think he did. Yeah. He won the plane pull with a torn bicep or something.
Yeah,
something either, or it might have been a messed up knee. Either way, he won it with a pretty major injury.
I used to like watch him do the Atlas stones because he was so conditioned. He could literally run with those damn things. I'm like, God, dude, you're a freak.
Yep, and he did fine until the platform started getting taller.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
But yeah, I mean,
speaking of injuries, have you had any major like injuries from lifting?
Yeah, I've had two. The first one I had was in 2014. I tore my labrum, my left shoulder, but it's not really giving me any trouble. Rehabbed it just fine. And then in my worst injury was after I won the Knox Classic in 2016 that winter. I was doing leg press. I was working out with Ricky Rott. Never forget this. And at Armor, and I got off the leg press. A little sharp pain. You know, we were doing like sets of 800. I mean, nothing really, not really a lot of weight for a leg press. You know, obviously. And then went over to squats, was fine. The next day I woke up, my adductor all the way down into my hamstring was all purple.
Ooh.
So I was freaking out. Of course, I knew it was hurt. And then when I tried to stand up, I had this pain. I'm like, oh shit. So we got MRI, so I had a torn adductor longus and a medial quad. So, but thankfully, I didn't have any atrophy. I didn't have to have surgery on it, but I was on crutches for 6 weeks, still in the gym doing upper body. So, but those are the two main ones. That's why I train a lot different now in my 40s than I did, way back then, because you can't train the same way. Yeah, you have to really change what you're doing.
It's funny. I tore a bicep, and I kept doing lower body stuff. Like I was doing deadlifts. Have the Spud Inc. makes a thing that has a strap that takes place of that arm. Yeah. We posted a video of it on our YouTube thing, and man, I got so much hate. Like, that's how you get hurt. Blah blah blah. I'm like, man, I'm training around an injury.
I'm already hurt.
Yeah,
you're already hurt.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Get more hurt?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess they expect you just to lay on the couch.
Yeah, I guarantee the person that commented that would be debilitated with heartburn. Like, I got to call in. I had Doritos last night, guys. I'm not going to make it into work tomorrow.
Yeah. I've been around a few of those.
So we've reached the point where it's time to run some ads. But before we start our own ads, we've all been drinking Tenergy.
It's delicious.
I'll let Jason tell us more about that.
Tenergy is pretty neat little company. Hunter Hensley with Tennessee actually started this company up. And he's got he's got some investors backing him, and they brought me on board as more of a marketing person, just because I have so much reach in the fitness industry, getting the product out there, and it's done quite well. Well, we've got a nice surprise for the Night of the Champions. So I'll just leave it at that.
Stay tuned.
Nice so,
I guess we're going to Night of Champions.
So it'll be a good time, Night of Champions. So I'll be there for prejudging.
Can I be a Champions +1?
Yeah, it's that show's good because it's the last one in Tennessee, and then it's 3 weeks from the NPC Nationals, which is actually it's about 5 weeks because it's in December now. It used to be in November, so it's one of the last national qualifiers in this area to where you can have to qualify to do a national show. So a lot of these people will show up from out of state. There's always somebody that shows up, and you're like, "You're not from Tennessee." Nope, I'm from Jersey. We had one guy come in from France one year. It's crazy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
We actually went to Kentucky for an NPC qualifier.
Yeah,
we didn't compete in it. We were just it was just at the same place we were.
It was happening while we were doing a lifting event.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to start telling everybody we went there. We drove to Kentucky for one.
Hey, also, explain your shirt there.
Oh yeah, this is my two brands. Of course, my coaching business, Team Akers, I've been doing it for about 16 years now, consistently. And then Enhanced Supplements, that's a product line I just started actually 27 days ago. Just launched it on the 1st.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
And
So get it while it's hot.
yeah. It's done quite well. I've got 45 products rolled out, and I was in the supplement industry for about 8 years, in retail management and product design a little bit. So I knew a lot about the industry. Very saturated market, very hard to get shelf space. That's the main thing. So I went past the business model of, no, I'm going to do e-commerce, make this online only, direct from manufacturer to consumer. I'm going to cut out all the overhead. So I'm not going to do brick and mortar. And I've got some, I probably can go ahead and talk about it. Pretty close to signing a contract with GNC to carry my products.
All right.
Nice. Heck yeah.
And GNC is one of the companies I was manager for. So I still know some people way up the ladder.
Yeah.
So I actually got a phone call with them. And it's probably going to start out at the franchisee stores first before corporate will allow it. They'll probably just make sure we can keep up with the volume they're doing. But when you get into brick and mortar, it really cuts into your profit in that industry. So you have to start raising your prices, and that's what I really don't want to do, because most people that work out, most people that compete, and my product line doesn't really cater to just athletes. It's everybody. I've got memory product on there, collagen product. I've got heart health, everything. I don't just have pre-workout, protein powder, which major respect to all the guys that do that stuff. But that's honestly not where the money's at. Just from being in the industry for so long, you've got to lean more toward the mainstream if you want your volume to be there, your sales volume to be there. So, but yeah, it's been pretty exciting so far. I think we've got over 50 orders already the first month, which is very good for considering the marketing I'm doing is pretty much just social media.
Yeah,
that's all I'm doing. So it's been pretty solid, but I'm excited about that. So, and if anybody wants to try anything, I'll say it on the podcast. You can go to my website. It's Enhance, and it's spelled XNHANCE, sups.com. You can put in my last name, Akers, for a discount. Just use it once and use it wisely. Because it's not that I'm saying I don't like the discount stuff, obviously, but if you're going to make an order, make it worth your while to get that discount if you want to try anything. So it's pretty good, but I'm really excited. I'm hoping it blows up so I can walk away from my day job out at the plant. That's really what I want to do. Yeah. So
I'm excited. Well, and like we're talking about your coaching stuff, your Team Akers. When people come to me about bodybuilding questions, and I'm like, I don't know why. I guess
You keep sending them to me.
I guess
I don't know why.
I guess they think I work out, so I should know about bodybuilding, but I don't know anything.
One of the strongest guys in the gym, so they're going to ask him automatically.
So I'll pull up your Facebook page all the time. I'm like, this is the guy that I go to, or I would go to if I had any kind of bodybuilding stuff. Because he's been there, he's done that, he knows it, he's successful at it. He's the one to go.
Yeah, and it's been a very humbling career. Just about 4 years ago, I started really turning out a lot of class winners, overalls, some people that were placing nationally, and then I've had a couple of pro clients hire me, which is very flattering being an amateur, and I'm training pros. One of my pros actually got third at her pro show last year. She's pro wellness girl, and she's 52.
Oh, awesome.
She looks amazing too for 52. In the old, the way it goes, a lot of people in this industry, they're like, we've got coaches that have never competed or they've done one show and they placed dead last, and then they're taking clients. I'm like, no, dude, no, let's just not do that, because you don't know what you're doing, and you're playing with people's hormones and their adrenals and all metabolic damage. All those things come into play here. You don't need to be playing with this stuff, dude. If you're not educated in it, have continuing education. And by that, I mean, not use the old school bro science from 30 years ago. Well, just do no carbs, man, a bunch of cardio. Yeah, because that's what some of these coaches do.
Yeah. Well, I've seen where you've posted diets that clients have come to you. This was their diet that their coach gave them, and I'm like, how are they alive?
Dude, you don't understand the stuff that's come across my desk. I'm talking 140-pound, figure girls eating 1,000 calories, which is absolutely just asinine. In reference, my client Jana, that won Night of the Champions last year, she won women's physique overall and figure, open overall, both of them. She weighed 123 pounds on stage, and she was eating 2,300 calories at a week out.
Dang.
Yeah. So it kind of gives you kind of an idea of like how reckless this was. I've had females come to me that were taking Tren, that just like, what are you doing? What the hell? What coach is having you do this stuff? It's mind blowing, some of the stuff that I've seen it come across my desk. It's nuts, and it really kind of makes me mad, because especially the people with metabolic damage. Like I had one come to me a couple of years ago. She was on 900 calories on her baseline day, and 1,250 on her high day. That was her high day. So like a refeed day.
Yeah,
it's like my breakfast.
She had
That's half a Snickers.
She had not had a bowel movement in 6 days when she reached out to me.
Golly.
And she was working with an IFBB pro figure coach. And it's just
that's insane.
It's mind blowing to me that these people just, and that's another reason why the new age of coaching, I kind of go into that a little bit, I have more respect for. It's like that old school chicken and broccoli, hours of cardio, sitting in the sauna 30 minutes a day. You're never going to look good. It's not going to happen. You're going to lose everything you got. You're going to lose all your muscle. You're going to come in flat. You're going to come in stringy. You're just not going to be able to fill out. You're killing these people with this stuff. And then it can take 4 to 6 months to fix metabolic damage, to get somebody's metabolism fixed. Yeah. I've seen it take that long. So I'm more in the new age, school stuff, where it's just like, feed your people, let the food do the work, don't just cut all their food. The worst thing you can do in a contest prep setting is increase the person's activity. Okay. So you're increasing fatigue, increasing inflammation. Okay. Then you're taking all their food away. What do you think's going to happen, dude? Yeah. So it's like, you need to be doing the opposite. You need to be decreasing their food when you get closer to a show. So you're doing fatigue management, you're getting the inflammation down so they dry out, quote, and then you actually pull back on cardio. You don't increase it when you get close. If you're not in shape at 2 weeks out, Sam will tell you, Michael will tell you, if you're not in shape at 2 weeks out, you're not going to be in shape. Yeah. You can't change anything that close to a show. So it's just some of the old protocols I've seen are just, they just blow my mind. Like, I just want to reach through the screen and just like strangle that coach. Like, what are you doing, dude? And some of these guys they've been doing this longer than me. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of stuff is like, hearing about that kind of stuff is like, I don't, bodybuilding sounds scary.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. I joke around with Michael all the time whenever he's talking about different stuff that he's working on. I'm like, you're not selling it to me, dog. None of this sounds like something I want to try.
Yeah, it's get up doing cardio in the morning, fasted, and just being so consistent, not going out, turning into a hermit pretty much. Social life goes down the toilet. If you do go out, you got to take your food with you. So it's just it's one of those things, and I've done it many times. So I went to Disney in November last year. Took the kids and my fiance. We went to Disney, and we drove. And the reason we drove is because I'm 4 weeks into a health phase.
Oh, so you can take your food?
I took my food with me. Yeah,
Is it cheaper at least?
I was 10 weeks out from my show. Mm-hmm. We went, and I took 28 meals with me that week, and then there was a gym at the resort we were at. Thank goodness, so I got a couple workouts in, but I didn't work out a whole lot while we were there. I just made sure I didn't miss any food, and I had to take all that into the park with me. So. Every day.
Was that a problem?
No, luckily it wasn't a problem. Just my little handheld cooler, took it in, and people kind of look at you like, well, that's just weird. Why do you want to eat like that? Why do you want to eat pizza and drink beer 5 days a week, dude? I mean, it's just, what are you asking me that for? It's just this is a lifestyle. That's your lifestyle. Yeah. You don't like my lifestyle, I wouldn't like your lifestyle either. So it's like one of those things, That really frustrates me sometimes when you're like, don't you ever want to eat off plan? I do eat off plan. I'm going to eat off plan in about an hour and a half. So, I mean, sorry, Cody. That's my coach. No, he usually knows.
I'll edit it out. He won't know.
Cody's a good dude, man. He's my coach is he's young. He's only 29. He's a young guy, but He's been bodybuilding since he was like 18, and he's won a couple overalls. He's the one that was pressing the 180s for 8 on my story. He's a strong kid, but Cody's got he's got a degree in nutrition. He's also got a degree in biomechanics and exercise science. He's very smart. Keeps up with all the new age stuff. He mentored under Matt Camp Jansen, which is Matt Jansen. I may know that name in the industry. Who I actually worked with Matt for 2 seasons and learned a lot mentoring under him. But so we align more with our values. He kind of coaches the same way I do, and a big problem is in the industry of coaching is communication. And not just from the coach, from the clients. Those awkward things you don't want to tell me, you need to tell me. If you're not having a bowel movement, you need to tell me. If you're having some fatigue, if you're having some joint problems, or if you're extremely fatigued, or if you feel like something's off, you need to tell me. You can't just like not communicate. It's another part of our industry gets frustrating. It's a communication factor.
Or do you think maybe they're just thinking like, this is how I'm supposed to feel, like beat up? And
sometimes that's the case. It's just in my questionnaire. So whenever I do check-ins, they have about 15 questions they answer, and I ask them those things like, what stressors are going on outside of the gym right now? How's family life? How are your bowel movements? On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your appetite. Things of that nature is what a good coach and an experienced coach will do. They ask all these questions and they compile data. And the old school coaches, chicken and broccoli, hours of cardio, they don't do that. They just give everybody the same thing to do, no matter what their genetics are or what division they're in, or if they're a male or a female. It doesn't really matter. I'm like, dude, you can't feed a bodybuilder like you can a bikini girl. I hate to tell you, but you can't.
Yeah, Dave, so stop eating like a bikini girl.
Yeah.
Thought this was going to be my year.
Yeah.
So what do you think about V-Shred?
What?
I was going to say you said something first.
V-Shred?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with what V-Shred's got in it.
So
I'd have to see the ingredients.
V-Shred.
Nobody's sure what V-Shred has in him.
V-Shred is that he's what is it? It's all like if you're an ectomorph or an endomorph.
Oh, you're talking about the person.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
not a supplement. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a
Person's a strong word, probably.
So
he's a fitness influencer.
Okay.
That is a good question on the endomorph, ectomorph. Where do you stand on that? Like, I've seen people say that it's scientifically proven to be not real, and then I've seen people say it's scientifically proven to be true. So
I've seen it both ways, actually. I'll lean more toward the mesomorph side with my body type. I can put on weight fast if I want to. But for bodybuilding, that ecto is probably going to work a little better if you to get lean. But I've seen it both ways. So I'm not really I don't really chase a body type for training. Now there are some things of the match with genetics as far as like what demographic of people can eat. Like for example, I hit it. I've got Caucasian males that I have to feed them chicken, and then sometimes ground turkey, lean turkey, and then fish, and then maybe one beef meal, and then just give them enough iron, enough beef and stuff, and different protein sources to get them in shape. And then I've had African American clients that I can give them 5 meals of red meat and they're peeled. And you give that to the other guy, he's going to put on weight. It's really bizarre how the blood type dieting actually is more what I follow, I believe in. It's really, really weird. You're really weird. And another true story, going more into that, my son was, he was born preemie. He was born at 30 weeks, weighed 3'1", lost down to 2 pounds, 11 ounces. And he was in the NICU for 9 weeks, on the ventilator for 5 days. So he's a miracle. But his mother and I, when he was in the NICU, we saw probably 30 babies come in and out of that nursery. And the nurses and the doctors shared with us that African-American females gain weight the fastest. Then it's African-American males. Then it's Caucasian females. Then Caucasian males.
Really?
Yeah. And it's really weird. I'm like, what? And so I started doing some research on this, and this was, son was born in 2002, so this is years ago. I'm like, I wonder. And then my head started clicking. If you could do bodybuilding this way, so, and it's just really weird that I started seeing a lot of this scientific evidence. It's like, wow, that's bizarre. I didn't have any clue about that. Yeah,
I'd say stuff like that shows up more just in bodybuilding too, because it's just you're building with such extremes of the human body.
100%.
That there's like 0.5% differences like that. Like it probably comes way more into play in bodybuilding than it does anywhere else.
Yeah, and it is all trial and error. It's just that's why we have people check in, and that's why we tell clients, if you hire me and you want to do a show in 16 weeks and you think you can hire me at 16 weeks and I can bring you in at your best, no, I can't, because it's going to take us 2 to 4 weeks to figure out how your body responds to these foods. Then we got to get your digestion straightened out if you're having digestion problems. It's like then we've got 12 weeks if we have issues to fix you and get you in shape. So minimum I like to work with a client about 28 weeks. Because I want to have an off season with them to see what foods they're responding to. That gives us a time frame before we have to start cutting them down. So I'd rather have a year, but minimum I like to do at prep's about 28.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's a long time,
especially with as much information as you need.
You got to have data, man. And these coaches that don't collect data, I'm talking to you old school bros, science guys.
Yeah,
you're on notice.
Yeah, you're on notice.
I was looking at the camera, not Al.
I was just looking at Al. I hadn't looked at Alan in a few minutes, so
that old school bro science mentality of just giving everybody the same thing and the same. They're all eating the same foods, or they're eating 5 meals of white fish at 4 weeks out and virtually no carbs. And then you'll just have these people that argue with you. Yeah, but he came in peeled. Yeah, at what cost? Because right after the show, it's that dude that does that puts on 50 pounds in 2 months because his body is it's so depleted.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. So why would you kill yourself like that when you can eat and just diet longer and not have to suffer? That old suffering mentality, and that term's used a lot. He just wasn't willing to suffer. It's like, no, you're just lazy, dude. Yeah. Because you cut all his carbs out and you put 2 hours of cardio on him. You're lazy. That's not coaching. Yeah. It's not coaching.
Take the time to build something sustainable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I was at a family dinner the other night, and it's been a while back now, but some of my grandparents said, if it's not hard, you're not dieting right. Can't lose weight can't lose weight if it doesn't suck. I was I don't think that's true.
No.
I'm not Captain Nutrition, but
I never went under 2,800 last year on prep the whole time. That's the lowest my calories were. I was a week out. Almost 3,000 still.
Dang.
And that's a big deficit, for 180 pounds of lean mass. It's a pretty big deficit, but yeah, that's the lowest I ever went.
But see, and you think about, like, you hear, a 2,000 calorie diet is like the, whatever the baseline diet or whatever. And so people are hearing 3,800 calories or whatever, and they're thinking, well, how's he not getting fat? Like, they don't understand how much you're burning.
Yeah, energy output.
Yeah,
energy output versus what you're taking in is a big thing in our industry. And if you're not logging all this stuff, and I have a lot of people that get on me about my log book, because I log every workout. Yeah, I write it down. I write the sets, because some of my sets are working, some of them are back off, some of them are heavy, some of them are rest pauses, some of them are drops. And if I don't know what I did 2 weeks ago on my leg workout, God, I can't remember what I did on that last set of banded hacks. What did I do? I don't have it written down somewhere. I can't remember that. Yeah. I'm trying to run 2 businesses and work a full-time job. You think I can remember what I hack squatted 2 weeks ago? I don't remember that crap. So it's like, people are like, I can work out in Crocs and I don't have to log anything. And, that's stupid. It's like, well, that works for you, bro. But guess what? It doesn't work for everybody. Yeah. So everybody's situation's different. So I believe in data collection big time.
Let's call our band the Banded Hacks.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. A heck of a punk band.
That's where you went with that?
Yeah. The Banded Hacks. As soon as I heard Banded Hacks, I was like, what a punk band, dude.
Dave comes up
with
is
a good name for one, actually. Yeah.
The Banded Hacks, son.
Dave comes up with at least one band name every podcast.
True.
Nothing excites me about doing burpees. Absolutely nothing.
Or Turkish get-ups.
Oh, my God, no.
Just to do it?
Yeah, no.
Turkish get-up sounds like some kind of medieval torture device.
I'm really waiting on the day that someone tells me their favorite PR is a Turkish get-up. I'll walk out.
I probably would look at him like, "Are you okay, dude? You need to call a psychiatrist or something?"
We're gonna get this guy on Dr. Phil.
It's like, is everything okay at home?
This dude's got something to unpack.
Who hurt you, bro?
I'm worried about your girlfriend. What's her name?
Show me on the doll where he touched you.
You want me to dial 911 now or later?
Yeah.
Have you got a minute to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Hey, that reminds me. Where are you on sumo deadlifts?
Well, here's the thing. I understand I understand the technique and why some people do it. I get it, the leverage part of it and all that stuff. But I've watched some people do sumo deadlifts. God love him to death. He's one of my idols in bodybuilding because he did very well in the Natural Federation, turned pro. Very well known. That's Lane Norton, and that's all he does is sumos. That's all he does. Yeah. Now Lane's he's a monster. He's strong, but it's just I look at that and I'm like, well, you're lower to the ground, so you're just not really pulling it as far. That's kind of where that's where my head's at. But and you all probably know this. I mean, obviously you do. I don't, but. In the powerlifting federations, do they allow sumos in all the federations? Because I thought they didn't in some of them.
Now they don't allow sumo in strongman.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, that's almost the only rule they have in deadlift.
Really?
Like you can hitch, you can use straps. You can
Wear a suit.
Yeah, whatever. You just can't pull sumo.
Anything.
Your hands have to be outside your knees.
Because this is a Christian nation.
Which I think is wild that especially IPF, for being as strict rules they have, zero rules for sumo.
Yeah,
because we have a guy
with sumo or conventional. It's the same. Yeah,
we have a guy at the gym we've talked about him before. Kyle, he deadlifts sumo, but he ain't but what 5'6".
Yeah,
like he's a little dude, but his feet are touching the plates.
Oh, now see that,
and I'm like.
When he's at the bottom, his feet are touching, and before he drops, he has to pull his feet in to keep from.
Yeah, and I'm like, there has to be there's rules on bench press. There has to be rules on sumo deadlift.
You would think.
I mean, I don't know how to regulate that, but there's got to be some way.
Well, before they didn't have any rules on the arch on your bench press.
True.
Yeah.
And now your elbows have to come down past down past your back.
Yeah.
Before, people could get such an extreme arch on their bench that they were coming down and touching their chest, and their elbows weren't coming below their back.
Yeah, it's like a range of motion of all of maybe 3 inches.
Oh yeah,
we call that a reverse sumo.
Yeah. But they've changed that since then. And really, what happened is there was a video. There was a woman. She broke a world record on bench press, and I want to say it was in an IPF.
Which world
bench?
I believe this one.
Oh.
Yeah, I have to look that up.
Yeah,
but
making sure I didn't take gravity into play.
The video shows it from head on, and you can see they unrack it, and her range of motion, literally, I mean, I'm not exaggerating, is maybe 2.5 inches. Mm-hmm. This is all the bar tracks.
That's my range of motion too. Zing!
I was actually amazed we made it this far in the conversation before you said it.
And that video caught so much heat that I think they're like, okay, well maybe we should put some kind of restrictions on that.
Yeah.
Good. Let's keep bringing heat to sumo. Sumo sucks. Regulate it.
Get you an Iron Palace T-shirt that says so, or one that's got a dragon on it.
Yeah.
And I actually was telling them we've made all this heat about sumo deadlift over the last few weeks, and then I just got a program from Sam, and I looked, and on the third week, it's got sumo deadlift. I was like, I can't. It's against my religion.
Sorry, Sam. Sorry, Coach.
Yeah, that's great.
Crusades have been fought over less.
I agree.
God.
Have you been smelling salts?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh yeah, we started to do ads.
Tell them about it, Holland.
So, Zone Smelling Salts, the industry leader in smelling salts. This right here is the Zone Bear Down Frost Edition, which is one of their stouter versions. And it on top of the smelling salts, it has what is that, mint?
I think these are menthols, actually.
Has a little extra kick to it.
I just like the cap. That's a very interesting.
Yeah, they're little urns.
Yeah.
Is there a genie in there? Or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there is a genie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a genie in this bottle. You want to meet him?
Oh God, no. Gosh,
Eat it.
I've used that stuff before. Whew.
These use you, buddy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. With that kind of bottle, I bet it does.
These are aggressive.
I took him to work, and we was trying to talk people into trying it, and I was like, "Don't let the fact that it's in an urn scare you." And they're like, "That is an urn."
That's just somewhere. So we got somewhere to put you after.
There's either a genie or there's somebody's ashes in there. What's going on here?
Either way, you're going to get ready to lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna meet Christ afterwards, no matter what. Yeah, they're stout.
Yeah.
Woo. But
All
yeah,
that buildup, I was expecting like a big woo, but it's just
well, I didn't want to yell straight into
That
the
wasn't a
mic.
Ric Flair woo.
No, it wasn't.
very disappointing.
Zone smelling salts, code TIPP, get a discount.
Praise God.
Sweet.
Go to the Iron Palace podcast page and get you a T-shirt, and also like, comment, share, all that. Tell your friends. Get some engagement going for the boys. We appreciate it. Go to, you know what? I'm not going to do our supplement companies. I don't want to overshadow his. Go to Enhance. Get you all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, man. We'll take care of you.
There
Hossware.com.
it is.
I was trying to think of who we left out.
Lord.
We've got them and mouthpieces to go.
Yeah. Hossware.com. Check your boys out. They make a lot of cool gym shirts and shorts, hoodies, hats. A lot of them are strongman, powerlifting themed.
But they don't ID you, though. You can order them even if you're not into that stuff.
Yeah, but if you're a bigger guy, they got shirts for you, power belly shirts and stuff. Go to hossware.com and use promo code TIPP for them too.
Sweet.
I'm going to get a Power Belly shirt.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I wear mine, it gets, like, at the Highland Games especially, everyone's like, "Oh, man, I love your shirt." I'm like,
What was-
Hossware?
What was the shirt you were wearing? Probably the best picture of you I've seen was at the Holiday Highlander. Was it the Holiday Highlander?
Oh, it's the thick
yeah,
shirt.
the thick shirt. Yeah. The perfect in motion, carrying the bag. Just
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I wish I could. I'll have to look up and get the name of the photographer that they hire for that competition.
they did good.
Dude, they are awesome. They've got drones flying everywhere. They've got 4 or 5 photographers all over the place catching the events. And
My boy over here already looks good, but they made him look.
I'm about to dig that picture back out. That's going to be a new profile picture.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and that's one of the things I like about the Holiday Highlander is it's not a sanctioned event, but it's a big event, and it's for they train service dogs for wounded warriors.
I'm trained as a service dog.
And so it goes to a good cause, and it's a big event, but it's really like an athlete. It's for the athletes basically. They take care of the athletes and do cool stuff. I like that event.
That's really cool.
I was thinking, we've talked about doing an unsanctioned meet where it's just, it's just for fun or for the glory of winning that day. Could you imagine an unsanctioned bodybuilding competition?
Oh my God.
That's just dudes in their underwear.
Oh my God.
With
Keep
people
talking.
watching.
Yeah.
That sounds like some Eugene Sandow stuff.
Yeah. For real. It's like let the mainstream media judge it instead of the tabulators and the judging panel.
My underwear say unsanctioned meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would judge that? How would we judge it?
I'd judge the hell out of it.
Like, what are all the criteria in judging in bodybuilding? Like,
That's a good question. As far as the judging criteria, it's another thing that if you're going to be in this industry, or if you're going to coach, you definitely need to know what they are.
Yeah.
In bodybuilding, basically it's anything goes, pretty much. And honestly, the variables of the scoring at judging, they're not really consistent from a local level to regional to national level. Sometimes they're all over the place. You might place first in your class and win an overall at a state show. Then you go to the nationals, and a guy that was at your state show that got third behind you in that class beats you at the nationals because the judges like his structure better, or maybe he was a little bit leaner that time. So, and it's happened.
Yeah.
It's just I've beat a guy in one class, and then the next class, he beat me in the same night. 2 different classes. I'm like, how is that possible? And they just said, when I came out for the second class, I was drier. You know, so it's just I look better, basically. So they said your posing was better in the second class, probably because you filled out from posing. And that's another thing, is you pose, you get harder. You know, it's just like working out. So that's it's really peculiar. But when you get into the national level, you know, their critiques are brutal. You know, national stage, you don't get that much time in front of the judges. I mean, they just move you quick. It's just like cattle.
Yeah, I don't understand judging at all for bodybuilding, because whenever I've watched shows and I've watched like the call outs and stuff, I'm like, oh, that guy looks incredible, and then that guy's like third.
Yeah, and it happens
every single time.
And it's very hard to watch it from a television standpoint. If you're in person, you know, and you're seeing this stuff, it's totally different look, because those judges are from me to him. And basically they'd be standing on that desk because they're looking up at you, know, because they're elevated on a stage and the judges are sitting down. So that old saying goes, we've had some people that have gotten mad about placings. Actually, one show one year, we had a guy throw his trophy when he got second and busted it right on the stage live.
Jeez.
I was there that night that happened. I competed in that show as a welter, and that was in Chattanooga. And I specifically remember when that happened because, of course, the promoter and the Tennessee chairman at the time, who was Charlie Etherton, took a beeline to him. Of course, kicked him out. You're not ever welcome back in one of our shows again, because he did that like at the night show, you know, just because he was mad the guy beat him, and the guy should have beat him. The guy had no legs. So, you know, it's just like one of those things. But as far as the judging criteria, the way that it used to be scored is all the judges will give their tabulation. And if you test judge a show, which I've done, you have to score a certain percentage of what the other judging panel is doing. So if like you have a guy that's, you know, 5th place and you place him first, they're going to look at your scorecard and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know, it's not even part of the criteria. But they throw the too high and too lows out, and then they take an average. That's how they kind of score them, and especially at the Olympia and stuff like that. That's completely different, but. A lot of the judges are biased. You know, back then, you know, in the old days, you could coach and be a judge. Now they really eliminated that over the years. So it's
that checks out. Yeah,
Like,
because you know
I'm not biased, but my guy won.
Yeah, you know, it's one of my good buddies, and actually, him and his wife live right down the road from me. Alan Sizemore, he's the MPC, you know, state chairman, and I helped him for his first show in 2008. We've been pretty tight ever since, and you know, Alan will, you know, the same thing. That's just it's all you got to judge what's. He always uses that term. I can only judge what's in front of me. You know, I don't care what you look like at the gym yesterday. You know, and you're showing me pictures of what you look like yesterday and what this guy looked like. How'd he beat me? It's like, well, you didn't look like that today. You know, so that's just kind of the way that it kind of goes. You know,
Yep.
Same way in powerlifting. Well, I pulled 550. You know. But you know, you didn't do that at the meet, so it doesn't matter what you did at the gym. So
that is Holland's at kryptonite.
Like that, Holland. Beat his ass.
That's me with 405 on bench.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've watched him pull 700 on a rack pull, and I've watched him.
And
I've watched him deadlift or
I wasn't gonna
bench
bring up the
405. But then at competition, I've watched him miss 700 rack pull, and I've watched him miss 405 bench.
Yeah.
The nerves can get you too. I mean, sometimes, you know, when you're in front of people, I'll have that happen sometimes in bodybuilding. Clients do. You get up there your first show and you're nervous. You don't post stuff. You're shaking. You're not smiling at the judges and stuff like that. Yeah. And they score that stuff down. So,
he had a scary horoscope those days. That's what threw him off.
Yeah, we tried to have David massage him. I guess it didn't work.
Didn't work.
Yeah, he was terrified. Poor little fella.
Yeah.
Poor little fella.
My horoscope said expect new challenges, huh? Looking over his shoulder the whole day.
So one of the influencers I've seen popping up more is Sam Solik. What do you think of him?
I'm kind of torn on Sam Solik. I'm just going to be real. I guess it's just I'm an old head, but I don't understand the hype. I really don't. I mean, kid's got an amazing physique. You know, good for an influencer, but. You know, he's just one of these people. He's never even competed. He's never stepped on a bodybuilding stage. Why are you giving everybody advice on bodybuilding and dieting and training? Dude, you're a gym rat. It's like one of those things, until you've walked the walk, don't try to give me advice. You know, bodybuilding is one of those industries where if you're a coach, you better have at least competed in my opinion, at a regional or state level. Don't necessarily have to do a national show, but this industry is completely different from doing stuff like football. Like, for example, you all know this. A lot of people don't know this. Bill Belichick never played one down of NFL football his entire career, and he never played football in the pros. Probably undoubtedly one of the best football coaches ever, in the history of the game, but he never even played NFL football. So it's like, they try to make that argument, like, but that's different. You're coaching something that you're watching, and you're not physically involved. You've never physically been through that transformation, the suffering. You can't understand the tell signs of what's going on. Can you educate yourself, in instances and read what some other people are saying? Absolutely. But until you've done that and you've suffered and been through a prep, know what it takes, you don't need to be giving people advice. Sam's physique is awesome. And another one that comes to mind, going into that genre is Larry Wills.
Yeah.
Can't stand that guy. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, I can't stand him. He just, it's like, and Larry, you're strong as hell, man. But I mean, you train like an idiot. You've had so many injuries. It's like, then you think you're going to turn pro in the IFBB and classic physique?
He's definitely not now that he tore his bicep. That thing just looks, I mean.
He's tore both of them.
Yeah, and now it's like the smallest little bicep head right there.
I mean, I respect the hell. He's strong as hell, no doubt. But it's like he tried to get into bodybuilding, showed up for this show. He did they tried to make a big deal about it, blow it up. Like, dude, you did the Arnold Amateur. The Arnold Amateur NPC event literally has about 50 people in it every year. It's one of the smallest NPC shows in the entire country.
Actually, I know that.
It's not a big show.
Yeah, because I just associate the Arnold with
the open division. But the NPC amateur event at the Arnold Classic is it's smaller than the Knox Classic here. It's smaller.
I actually did not know that.
Wow.
It's like, you won your class at the Arnold Amateur. Whoop, do you freaking do, dude? Yeah. You go to the Nationals and get your ass handed to you. You won't even place top 10 in the heavyweights.
Yep.
So that's what annoys me about him, and it's not because he doesn't have an impressive physique. From the standpoint of a bodybuilding critique and a judge and putting him through the poses, he's not impressive. Has no legs from the rear, no hamstrings, no symmetry, no nothing.
No. He has probably the smallest calves I've ever seen in my life. Which I get that you can't train calves, but
calves are genetic.
But come on, man, like.
But it's just that his quads are just they're not. He can move some weight. Obviously he's strong, but they're just. It just goes to show you it's a look. It's a look. So in bodybuilding, he just doesn't have the look.
Right.
So that's another another thing I like to hit on. But if Sam ever does a show, I think Sam would do pretty well. He's put together pretty good.
I agree. I'm curious if he's going to.
I think he will eventually.
I mean, I hope he does, because that was like the thing with Rich Piana. He never competed, and I didn't really get it. Yeah. Like, the dude is massive, doing all this stuff, but for what reason? Yeah. At least if you're competing in bodybuilding, I can say, okay, that warrants what you're doing. Yeah. But if you're just doing it for fun, I mean, I guess that's good enough, but it also doesn't make sense to me.
I think Rich was just living a brand.
He was. Rich was, he was real though, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing about Rich is he was no holds barred. He put it all out there. This is what I do every day. Damn, dude. I mean, you know he's not lying. Yeah.
Because look at him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But he was interesting.
Yeah. Sam, it falls into the category of, it's kind of the opposite of the fake naturals or fake natties. It's like, I almost feel like you're kind of glamorizing doing them a little more. Yeah. Like, especially being a younger guy. Like, he's what, 23? Yeah. He's not old, not very old.
The young guys are, they're the ones that they concern me, obviously. You know, but, it's their life. It's what they want to do with their body and things of that nature. But the youngest IFBB pro actually happened last year. His name's Anton. He actually came to Armor and trained last year during prep. He is, I'll have to show him some pictures of you. He's on my social media. He turned pro at the NBC Nationals at 19 years old.
Jeez.
And if you saw this kid, I mean, I can pull him up. I'm just kind of curious. I just got to show y'all this dude. This dude is a freak. I've never seen anything like it.
Did he do open or classic?
Oh yeah, he did open. Yeah, he did. No, he's classic. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I had to say to step into open on 19, but even classic is still insane. But
yeah, I've got to find him here. Yep, there he is. Anton. That's Anton.
good God,
19.
no way, that's insane.
Yeah, hang on. I'll show you a better picture of him. That's just him standing in the gym. Hang on a minute. Was that me? There's no way that could be me. No, it's just this one picture of him standing in the gym. It's like probably one of the freakiest bodybuilding pictures I've ever seen in my life. It's the fact that this kid's this young and he looks like this is just nuts.
Not fair is what I say.
Yeah,
It's not fair.
Jesus,
he's not even in prep there.
he's not even.
This was like recently. That was from like August 11th.
That's not even in good lighting.
No,
Golly.
he's 19. Yeah, he's just a freak, man.
It's like Holland.
He's got perfect symmetry. He doesn't have a weak body part, and it's just he's one of the ones that would fall under the genetics category.
Yeah.
I was like, he looks like those Masters of the Universe action figures.
He does.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like that. Yeah. It's like I saw him walk on stage, and then the commentators were like, "This kid is from such and such," and ladies and gentlemen, this kid is 19 years old. I'm like, "What the?"
Yeah.
Saw ripples in the water like on Jurassic Park when he walked on stage.
You start having flashbacks to all your action figures as a kid. Just,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
when I was 19, I was just out chasing girls and eating pizza. This dude's like a freak, man. You know.
yeah, that picture of him made me think of. I've seen this meme. And it's like it shows a picture of Barbie, and it's like women are complaining that Barbie gives women unrealistic body goals and blah blah blah, and it said, "This is He-Man," and it showed, but it showed that guy right there.
Yeah, exactly. Same dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't hear us complaining. It's just like, hey, it is what it is, man. It's
even
just,
Skeletor, like he's supposed to be a skeleton, and dude is still more jacked than I'll ever be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So nobody compliments you on your progress like dudes will, though. So I was telling my wife, I was like, you hear it way more from dudes. Like, yeah, that was dope. Like,
Oh, God.
guys all the time at work be like, hey, man, you been working out? Like, not
That's
really,
something
thanks.
we talk about so
Yeah.
much too. It's like y'all get a kick out of this. That's funny you hit that because every time it's like when you're really lean, really close to show, and you're vascular, and you look nuts when you get a pump. All the women say that's disgusting, and I'm like I look at them. I'm like sometimes, and I've done this. My fiance laughs when I say this all the time, but I'm like, thanks. Telling a bodybuilder they're disgusting looking is the best compliment you can give them. Trust me.
Be like,
Please tell me more.
You look like a freak.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me harder.
And the men are like, damn, bro, you look freaking jacked, dude. How far
Yeah.
out are you? But the women are like, you look gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorite memes where it's like what you think's going to happen is all the women flocking
yeah.
to what actually happens.
Yeah, they're all,
No, it's not.
They're
No.
fondling your biceps or whatever, and it's all dudes like, man, you're getting jacked.
Yeah.
My highlight is I put on my jacket at work, and Tim Jones will be like, damn, dude, your shoulders looking a little bit bigger. You been working on it? I'm like, not really. You really think so, though? Thanks, man.
I had someone do that the other day. They saw my video that I'd posted this. I didn't realize your legs were that big. I always see you in the work pants. I was like,
Thanks, dude.
thanks.
Appreciate it. So what are you doing later?
You mean it?
You want to holler at me later?
Can you text that to me so I can read it again tomorrow?
And can you just hold on? Just say that again, louder.
But whispering.
Yeah, please. Feed my ego some more, please.
Because up here's not telling me that. So I need you to tell me that.
So I told Tim immediately. I was like, I've been squatting too.
Oh, God.
Hey, that makes me body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Is that like? I mean, I think people throw that around a lot, but then again, like sometimes you're not big.
Yeah.
Like you're looking at I mean, like it's how.
But does it get better or worse through your?
Like,
It gets. I'll tell you where the body dysmorphia comes in from. For me, also with most of my clients, it's post-show rebound because they don't understand. Like, look, man, you're going to look this good one day out of the year. One day, okay? Are you going to be able to hold that conditioning longer than 24, 36, 48 hours? Maybe. but that's about it. Then as you gradually increase food, you have that one meal, you blow up 5 pounds, layer of water, all your cuts are gone. Well, not that fast, but, it can happen within a couple of weeks. Especially my training partner, Greg, he likes Cinnabons. But
and I could go for a Cinnabon.
I love Greg to death. I know Greg will probably watch this.
He loves Cinnabon.
Greg, we were coming back from Pittsburgh. This guy placed 3rd at the Nationals, never done a national show, ever. I talked him into it. He almost turned pro. His first time ever. Just 5'7",
turned pro.
5'7", barely made middleweights, was 175. The cutoff was 176. He barely made it. And took 3rd out of like 22, up there at the Nationals. First show ever. We're coming home, and I'm driving. He drove up there. I drove back. Of course, he drove my car, and I thought I was going to die because he's a Yankee, and he's all up on everybody's bumper, driving 90 miles an hour on the interstate. And
I think my wife's a Yankee.
oh, and it's worse because he's a postman. He works for the mail.
Oh,
19 years as a courier, so he's out in the field, so he automatically hates people that drive. So this makes it even worse. then you just put the fact he's a Yankee on top of it. I was like, really, this guy's a reckless. But
Yeah, no, seriously, I can drive.
yeah. So we were coming back from Pittsburgh. We stopped at a gas station to get gas, and next thing I know, Greg walks out with his wife's behind him because she went with us, and he's got a whole big box of Cinnabons. I'm like, oh, thanks, dude. I'll have one of those. It's like, these are for me, man. And I looked at him, I was like, all of them? And it's like, oh, I promise you I'm going to eat them all. I'm like, no, dude, don't do that. I'm trying to talk him out of it, I'm just starting to have flashbacks. Shit, don't do that, dude. Endymion, just think that. You're going to swell up. So, but, yeah, the body dysmorphia is definitely real. I think personally, me, it's a little worse because I used to be really fat. Then I got in shape. And I don't ever want to look like that again or feel like that. So I think that's another driving factor. Is when the best clients I've ever worked with were the ones that were overweight. But they also have the worst body dysmorphia after show. I've got one right now I'm dealing with. He lost about 75 pounds and he's already back up about 10 in about 8 weeks. No big deal. But he's like, man, I'm losing my abs, and I'm like, we really didn't have abs at your first show. You were pretty lean, but you're 6 feet tall and you weighed 178. So it's like, we really didn't have a lot to work with. But I have to make them understand, if you're going to be in this sport, you have to be willing to let your body fat go up a little bit, but not to the point to where, things like that are going to kick in. So yeah, body dysmorphia is real, man. It's in our industry, it's rampant.
I'm down about 40 pounds from when I was like really fat, and I'll still walk by a mirror and go, I look exactly the same. Then I'll see pictures and be like, oh, no, I look a little bit trimmer. But mirrors, I'm like, no, there's no difference.
Mine's the opposite. I was a twig growing up, so like the second I start losing any kind of weight, I'm like, there we go.
Yeah.
I think I tell her probably 5 times a week, like, I'm not even strong anymore. I got nothing.
I got nothing left.
And look at my back, honey.
Yeah.
Shut up. That's the worst for me, especially like we've talked about it a bunch of times. I went to Japan for 5 weeks where I couldn't work out at all.
He was on a cut.
Not on purpose.
Hell of a cut.
All the gyms, like a Gold's Gym told me I couldn't be there because I had tattoos. Like I had nowhere to go.
Where the hell were you at in Japan?
Apparently, the whole country says that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, over there, the Yakuza guys have tattoos. So if it's not like a gang-owned place, usually they're like, we don't want tattoos. We don't want people to think that they're in here.
So I think I lost 15 pounds in that 5 weeks, and I came back and I was like, oh, that's it, boys. Like I'm done. Like I had a powerlifting meet 2 weeks after I got back. I was like, I don't even know why I'm going to do it. I'm not going to move any weight. I'm going to lose the whole thing.
And you don't have to make weight. You're sufficient. So it's like,
I think I wound up pulling 550. I still don't know how I did it.
Wow.
Actually, that was when we pulled. That's when we did the 2-man deadlift the first time.
1,100 pounds.
Yeah, we pulled 1,100 together. I was like, I don't know how we did it.
Caleb's like,
I was there.
Caleb's like, I'm not going to be any help.
Yeah. I was like, for one, I've lost everything I ever had. I'm basically 150 pounds right now. So,
of course, we didn't help either. We're like, dude, you're looking small.
Every time we'd have the new guest on, we'd be like, what do you think of his cut? Like,
yeah, every time they do it, I always say, yeah, go ahead, make my inside voices outside voices. It helps.
Yeah.
See, where like just me, just be okay with being fat, Like I got fat, and I'm like, I'm fine with it.
hell of a cuddler.
My favorite thing that Holland ever did was we were at a gym that had they had one ab machine. That was it. And it was just me and him in the gym. And I'm over doing bench press, and I see Holland. I see Holland eyeball it from across the room, and I stopped what I was doing. I was like, he didn't say anything. I was like, I want to know what's he doing. So he eyeballs it and just starts beelining for it. And he walks straight to it, and I watch him do the whole thing. He goes over and does maxes out the weight, does 20 reps. He gets up and he goes, not worth it.
Not worth
it. Machine's full of shit.
It was the best.
That's funny.
That little comic book they got written on the side don't work like that.
Don't worry. Yeah. The abs are all red, lit up, popped. I was like, man.
Nope.
Not there or red.
Yeah.
And the best thing is he did it again a week later.
Oh my
He
God.
said, still not worth it.
Maybe it takes consistency.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Abby maxed that machine out too and said, that was easy. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They're there. They're just
Protected.
insulated.
Yeah. Insulation's a good thing. Yeah, it is.
All right, well, the one thing we forgot to bring up before we start shutting stuff down is Just the Tip by Dick Slimmons.
Oh, great, because I'm totally prepared for this. Look. If you don't set off the lunk alarm, you're not doing it right. Planet Fitness just don't want to see you shine, dog. Get down on it with Dick Slimmons.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Have you ever set off the lunk alarm?
Actually, no. Really or not? No, I haven't.
Well,
Because they were scared.
I will
Lunk
say,
alarm you, dog.
I will say that Planet Fitness is pretty lenient.
They are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
lenient.
with the
Yeah.
lunk alarm.
They are, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I mean, I
That's
worked
the
out there.
PR alarm, dog.
Like, I messed around in there with Nathan a lot. You know, if we hadn't set it off,
If you and Nathan and Abby didn't set that thing off, it's not going to get
That was the first time I met Abby. Was she was leg pressing all the weight that was around there, and her friend was on top of it.
That's what I was telling him.
yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Abby.
Yeah.
Planet Fitness on Western Avenue used to get a little trigger happy with the lunk alarm.
No, I've watched people at this one walk in and break every rule that's on there. Like they're wearing a stringer, they've got their jug of water.
That's what the rules
were there
They're
for,
slamming the weight, and no one even looks up.
I walked in there, during a prep one time, I had to train at Planet down here for a couple of days, and straight typical bodybuilder douchebag status, everything. Stringer, Optimic shoes, gallon of water jug, my gym bag, had it on the floor, all that stuff, and just they still didn't even kick me out of there. I couldn't believe it.
It was case by case. The one over there on Broadway near Fountain City, there's a lot of jack dudes that are there every day doing all that crap. I wish they had regular benches. So bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all the time we've got for today.
Well, fine.
Unless y'all got anything else.
No, not now.
Good.
I know. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out, man. This was a blast. This is an insight to a world we don't really know anything about.
Check out Enhance and Tenergy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We all drank one, and I'm buzzing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Check me out if anybody's looking for a coach. I'm local, and then I coach online for most of my clients. As a matter of fact, my pro client that just won her class, I didn't even see her in person until a week out. So,
Jeez.
It's I take pride in what I do. So if anybody is interested in coaching or even competing, if they would just want to talk about it, they can reach me on either one of them. I've got 3 Instagrams. So I've got my business, then I have my team page, Team Akers, then I have the 3-time Mr. Knoxville. That's my main Instagram page. On Facebook, I'm easy to get a hold of.
Good. So look him up.
Yeah.
And we're actually Facebook friends now, so
Their status is it's complicated.
yeah. Well, I was at work and Michael said, "Oh yeah, Jason just mentioned being on the podcast today," and I was like, "I'm not friends with him. I got to fix that."
Yeah. I had to change mine to create that whatever in digital whatever crap because I couldn't follow any more people. So, but I'm trying to blow up my social media because that's the only marketing I'm doing for my supplement company. So, getting started out's rough.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
We're aware.
it's working. It's working.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it.
If you need coaching, check out Jason.
Yep.
We'll have all the stuff in the description. We'll have our own stuff in the description. So merch, are you looking at them? Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ironically, they wore the same shirt. But
Ironically or on purpose?
Demonstrates the different colors.
I wish I had one in that color.
well, good. If you want one in either color or other colors, you can check out our Etsy page. That will also be in the description.
Shout out Tequila.
Yep. do the normal stuff, like, comment, subscribe. I read somewhere you're supposed to say that in the earlier part of the video, but I mean, this
You're
is fine.
supposed to start the video with that, I think.
Yeah, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
We'll fix that.
I'm
in
sure
post.
everybody listens to the end.
Every time. That's what the analytics say whenever I look at them.
Yeah.
So anybody else got anything?
We've got analytics.
Oh no.
Well, thanks again for coming
Yeah,
out.
man. Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
We'll end things on a quote. Nothing is so strong as gentleness. Nothing so gentle as real strength. Francis de Sales.
That's how I describe Holland.